It was 20 years ago, so the effects are what the effects are. It was kind of a little bit like, The cobwebs. I didn't think they looked very real on Lana. It looked like that, that stuff you get at Halloween and you kind of rip it apart. It didn't look like a cobweb. But, I guess you let that go, right? Suspending disbelief.
Yeah, suspension of disbelief was a big theme in the show. When Clark goes and reveals the mother in the cobwebs, I kind of remember being like, this is ridiculous and stupid, but maybe this is what cobwebs look like. Yeah, like I convinced myself.
The technology that we were able to use on the show became affordable for a television show and not just a film.
Right, yeah.
Like literally that year, the visual effects it just happened to be, like if we had done the show a year earlier or a year later, it would have been a different show.
Right.
It was literally that year where the studio was open to it, to spend money. And the more that we did the visual effects, the more the price came down, which is a weird thing. Because I remember there was something we did in season 1 that was like $50,000. By like season 5, it was like, we'll just do it. Don't worry about it. Like the visual effects people didn't even charge us for.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
we're
I'll
good.
just fit it in.
What did you think of the shape shifting? I thought the effect was pretty cool. It was, it wasn't perfect, but it was probably ahead of its time, and I think it worked for what it needed to do. Did you feel like that, Tom?
I thought it was effective. I again watched it on the internet. I mean, as far through an app, so I don't think I got the quality that I would have gotten through a DVD, perhaps.
Yeah,
but I think it told the story really well.
Because those were some big, heavy special effects shots. Was that like your first like big green screen?
It was just in a big studio, and there are some. What were the flowers called?
Sunflowers.
Sunflowers. There were like a handful of. There were some sunflowers there. And, he's just like, I want you to go to the sunflower. I want you to smell it and just smile. And then all of a sudden blood's going to, and it was just like one take. We had one take with the blood. I mean, that was
what's really funny is, the sunflowers have very little smell at all.
Filming that was, I remember had fun. I had fun doing that stuff.
Somebody's car got thrown through a roof. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was badass, wasn't it?
Just when Clark shows up to the scene of the crime after he's like, that is so much destruction.
That is so much destruction. Unnecessary.
It's just like the pans around. There's a car on the roof.
One person was saved.
At what point does like the National Guard not get called out when cars are getting thrown? And
yeah, it's like we got King Kong on our hands here.
Yeah. I mean, set design was real proud of themselves for that one though.
Objects around the room, lift around them.
By the way, the one that's focused on
the little doll or whatever,
the little alien. It's a green alien guy.
Yeah,
that was definitely not an accident.
Symbolism. Yeah, James probably thought he was genius for that moment. He's like, I got that one. I got be an alien. Just,
When that guy turned the pool into ice, and
I thought the freezing of the pool was pretty cool. Again, I thought what did you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I thought that looked pretty good. And then I like that her foot gets stuck at the end again. Like it's another like it feels very horror movie-esque.
How did they get the fire out of the sprinklers?
That must have been digital.
I don't think it was digital.
I don't think they poured gasoline through there and lit it. But
I don't know. I mean, it looked pretty practical. What do you guys think?
It looks. I don't know. It
looked pretty good.
It did look pretty practical.
Well, I know that there wasn't fire coming out of the sprinklers. That was after the fact.
Unless they had some kind of hoses, and I don't know. But if that was an effect, bravo, bro.
Well, this is what we've talked about this before, that finally visual effects were coming to television in that way.
Yeah, it was impressive. Lucky. And Bill Millar was our at that point. He did the effects and stuff.
Remember the episode on September 11th was the one where the sprinklers on the football field.
Hothead. We covered that one.
Did they really shoot fire out of those sprinklers?
Yeah, we did. You remember how it smelled? Like it was gas. We shot some kind of propane or gas out of those sprinklers, and
I'm wrong.
I got nauseous. A bunch of crew people got nauseous.
Oh my God! So it really was, because people were asking those questions. Fans or listeners or watchers were calling in.